Hey Bears fans, we're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Chicago Bears. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. That way, you'll always stay up to date with breaking news and exclusive content. You know when something happens in the NFL that just shakes the whole fan base? Yeah, this might be one of those moments. Word out of Chicago is that COLSTON Loveland, the young tight end who's been turning heads since his Michigan days, is dealing with a serious shoulder injury. And I'm not just talking about a miss a couple of games kind of thing. Insiders are whispering that this could keep him out for a long time. Loveland injured his right shoulder during non-contact drill earlier this week. And even though the Bears initially tried to keep things quiet, it's starting to leak that the damage might be worse than anyone thought. People who saw it happen said he grimaced immediately, clutching that shoulder like he knew something was off. No official statement from the Bears yet, but the silence is loud, my friends. Fans are starting to panic, analysts are speculating, and the entire locker room seems to be holding its breath. The guy was supposed to be a major weapon in that new offensive scheme, and now everyone's wondering just how big this setback really is. Let's be honest, this couldn't have come at a worse time for the Bears or for Loveland himself. The kid's been on a meteoric rise ever since that magical national championship run with Michigan in 2023. He came into Chicago with that mix of confidence and discipline that made him a fan favorite almost overnight. His rookie campaign had flashes of greatness, and this year was supposed to be the leap. Coaches were buzzing about how, while he was adjusting to the pro level, how his chemistry with the quarterback was finally clicking, and how his route running looked sharper than ever. And now this. Injuries are part of the game, sure, but when it's a young star who hasn't even hit his ceiling yet, it stings different. You could feel the energy around Hallis Hall shift after the news broke. Everyone's walking on eggshells, pretending it's business as usual, but deep down they know, losing Loveland changes things. It alters playbooks, it kills momentum, and it forces the Bears to rethink everything about their offensive rhythm. But here's the thing that's really making this story explode. Nobody seems to know exactly how bad it is. One report says it's a torn labrum. Another claims it's just a deep sprain. And then there's this wild rumor floating around that surgery is already being discussed behind closed doors. The Bears' medical staff has been tight-lipped, and that only fuels the speculation. I've seen this movie before. When teams go quiet, it usually means they're still figuring out how to deliver bad news. What makes this more dramatic is how Loveland himself has been radio silent on social media. No tweets, no Instagram posts, no reassuring "I'll be back soon" message. For a guy who's usually active online, that silence speaks volumes. Fans are flooding his comments with prayers and emojis, begging for an update, but so far, nothing. And that's where the tension builds. You start to sense that the people closest to him are keeping things close to the vest, which, let's be honest, only makes fans think the worst. The timing of this couldn't be more brutal when you think about the Bear season arc. They were starting to find rhythm, finally building a sense of identity after a rocky start. Loveland was a big part of that, not just statistically, but emotionally. He brought a certain swagger, that fearless energy that made the offense feel alive. His ability to block, run crisp routes, and make those clutch catches in traffic gave Chicago a real spark. Now, without him, it's like the gears might start grinding again. The chemistry between him and the quarterback had just begun to bloom. You could see it in those mid-range slant routes, those perfectly timed play-action releases. Now the team's got to adjust, and that's no small thing in the middle of the season. You can't just replace a player like that overnight. Sure, next man up is the mantra, but not every man is COLSTON Loveland. He's not just athletic. He's cerebral, disciplined, and quietly intense. Losing that presence affects everything from the locker room vibe to the confidence of the entire offense. And you know what's even more intriguing? Some whispers suggest this injury might trace back to something lingering from last season. Apparently, Loveland had some shoulder discomfort late in the year, even during that playoff push. The team brushed it off as minor soreness, but people now are wondering if that issue never fully healed. It makes sense. Sometimes these things don't just happen out of nowhere. A weakened shoulder, a bad angle in practice, and suddenly, boom, you're sidelined. The Bears' medical history hasn't exactly inspired confidence, either. They've been criticized before for mismanaging player recoveries, rushing guys back too soon, and this could reignite that entire conversation. Fans are already venting online, questioning the training staff, asking why their young star was even participating in such intense drills midweek. The frustration is real, and it's turning into one of those classic Chicago sports storylines: promise, hope, and then heartbreak. And while we all hope this isn't the worst-case scenario, the signs aren't exactly encouraging right now. If you scroll through social media right now, it's chaos. Bears fans are arguing, rival fans are trolling, and everyone's trying to play doctor in the comments. Some fans say to stay optimistic, he's tough, he'll bounce back, while others are already talking about next season, assuming he's done for the year. And honestly, the uncertainty might be the hardest part. Until there's an official update, every little rumor turns into a headline. ESPN insiders are dropping hints, beat reporters are sniffing around the practice facility, and even former players are chiming in. One ex-teammate posted something cryptic like, "Prayers up for my brother, he'll be back stronger," which just poured gasoline on the fire. You can feel the tension rising by the hour, and the Bears organization can't stay silent forever. They're going to have to say something soon. Because right now, the fan base isn't just anxious, they're demanding answers. And in a city like Chicago, where sports emotions run deep, that kind of silence doesn't last long before it turns into outrage. Now, let's dive into what this could mean for the Bears season if things really go sideways. Losing COLSTON Loveland isn't just about missing a player. It's about losing a key piece of the offensive puzzle. Analysts are already speculating how the playbook might shift without him. And honestly, it's a headache. Without Loveland stretching the field, defenses can cheat closer to the line of scrimmage, and that opens up a domino effect across the entire offense. The quarterback has to adjust timing, running backs get fewer lanes, and receivers lose the extra attention that Loveland used to draw. It's not just numbers on paper. It's momentum, rhythm, and confidence. Coaches might be forced to call more conservative plays, which could frustrate a team that was starting to show glimpses of a more dynamic style. And you know the media in Chicago. They're already circling, questioning play calls, second-guessing every personnel decision. One injury can turn into a narrative nightmare, and right now, the Bears are right in the middle of it. For fans, every game without Loveland suddenly becomes a roller coaster of what-ifs, and that tension isn't going away anytime soon. Rumors are spreading that even minor lineup tweaks are under serious debate behind closed doors. Here's where it gets really interesting. Some sources close to the team hint that Loveland's recovery could be meticulously cautious. We're talking months of rehabilitation, physical therapy, and possibly limited reps in practice just to protect that shoulder. This isn't the kind of injury you rush back from, and you can bet the Bears medical staff is walking a tightrope between urgency and prudence. If he comes back too soon, the risk of re-injury skyrockets, and for a young player with enormous potential, that could be devastating. People familiar with shoulder injuries at this level say the healing process can be unpredictable. Some players bounce back in weeks, others struggle for months. Add to that the mental hurdle of trusting that shoulder again during full contact plays, and you can see why the uncertainty is driving everyone a little nuts. Rumors about possible surgery keep circulating, but nothing official has been confirmed. Inside sources suggest that team management is weighing the pros and cons of early intervention versus a more conservative approach. Fans and pundits alike are watching this situation like a high-stakes drama unfolding in real time. Meanwhile, the locker room vibe is reportedly shifting. Players close to Loveland are said to be both worried and frustrated, trying to stay positive while acknowledging that losing their star tight and changes the dynamics drastically. Some veterans are taking on leadership roles to keep morale up, but you can sense that there's a layer of anxiety under the surface. Rumors say the coaching staff is adjusting practice plans and even game strategies, trying to compensate for Loveland's absence without tipping their hand to opposing teams. It's a delicate balance. They need to prepare for games, keep the team motivated, and manage a star player's recovery, all while avoiding public panic. The situation has the perfect ingredients for speculation and gossip. And of course, that's exactly what fans are feasting on. Every cryptic comment, every sideline photo, every training camp update gets dissected as potential clues to Loveland's status. The tension is palpable, and the narrative is only intensifying. If you follow Bears insiders online, the amount of conjecture around his recovery is reaching levels rarely seen for a rookie-turned star in his first season with a pro team. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. One rumor that's gaining traction involves the draft and next man up mentality. People are talking about the possibility that the Bears might have to accelerate development for a younger tight end, or even shift a wide receiver or fullback into unfamiliar roles. It's not ideal, but it's a scenario that teams sometimes face when a player of Loveland's caliber goes down. Analysts are predicting that the offensive coordinator might redesign packages around short passes and run-heavy formations, minimizing the stress on the tight end spot. But again, all of this is speculation, fueled by the fact that no concrete timeline for Loveland's return has been announced. Fans online are theorizing endlessly, breaking down playbooks and projecting stats, trying to fill the vacuum created by the uncertainty. The most intriguing part is watching how the team adapts behind the scenes, whether they try to maintain their aggressive identity or play it safe until Loveland is back. And with each day that passes without an official update, the rumors grow louder, the speculation gets wilder, and the drama intensifies. It's like watching a high-stakes thriller unfold, but on a football field. The whispers also extend to Loveland's personal mindset. People close to him are reportedly optimistic but cautious, understanding that rushing back could jeopardize his long-term career. The young tight end has always been described as disciplined and resilient, and he's likely putting every ounce of effort into rehab and staying mentally prepared. Yet, the uncertainty of the timeline is frustrating, and sources suggest he's balancing the desire to play with the knowledge that he must heal fully. Fans are speculating about whether Loveland might use this downtime to work on other aspects of his game: film study, mental preparation, route adjustments, strength training for other muscle groups, anything to return stronger. The narrative around him is evolving, from rising star to injury concern, with a possible redemption arc looming if he comes back fully healthy. And that's the kind of story that keeps people glued to updates, rumors, and insider tidbits. The combination of talent, timing, and now adversity makes Loveland a focal point of discussion not just in Chicago, but across the NFL, and every subtle hint about his progress becomes newsworthy fodder for fans and pundits alike. Finally, as the days drag on, the fan base remains on edge, navigating between hope and worry. Every practice update, every beat reporter tweet, every cryptic coach quote is scrutinized to death. Rumors about Loveland's condition keep multiplying, with some insiders suggesting he could return mid-season, while others hint it might take until next year. The uncertainty fuels debate, speculation, and even heated arguments among fans. Some are optimistic, banking on his resilience and talent to carry him back to peak form, while others are preparing for a season without him, adjusting their expectations. The drama, tension, and speculation make this more than just an injury. It becomes a storyline that touches every aspect of the Bears season. And in true rumor fashion, the lack of concrete information ensures the conversation never dies. As we wait for official updates, all eyes are on Loveland, on the Bears, and on how this young star navigates one of the most challenging moments of his early career. In Chicago, the chatter won't die down until we see him back on the field, healthy, ready, and dominating once again. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.